Hi Internet, Olaf here. We're going to talk a little bit today about Rainbow Mika, things you need to know if you're going to pick her up, and reasons you should be playing her. For starters, let's talk about who Mika is and what it is she does. When Capcom first revealed her, they said that she was going to be the first true grappler of the game. Thinking something like Zangief, Hugo, maybe even Abel, or like Mika was in Street Fighter Alpha 3. That's not necessarily the case. She's actually more of a brawler who happens to have grabs, characters like Honda, Alex, or sometimes even Makoto. However, she is a stun monster with tons of reset potential, so she actually falls much more into the level of Makoto or She-Hulk from Marvel's Capcom 3. The goal of Mika play should be setting the opponent up into a bad situation, where they fall into some sort of 50-50 mix-up, being grabs or a meaty situation, so that she can get them into a dizzy. From there, she can do whatever combo and damage she really just wants. In contrast to anything in Street Fighter 4, Mika actually does not want to get knockdowns if she can avoid it, rather resetting the opponent into the air so they fall into her traps. So if Mika's primary game plan is reset situations, how do we do that? Well, the easiest is her Irish Whip wall bounce. After Irish Whip, the opponent is in a unique state where they are treated as airborne even if they're on the ground. This means that ground throws won't work, but wingless airplane will. Any normal that hits the opponent will cause them to air reset unless that move causes a knockdown. This provides Mika an easy reset situation for throws or meaties, most likely the forward heavy punch. The next of her main resets is going to be more frequently usable, but it's less simple. Crouching medium punch, her little anti-air headbutt, actually has juggle potential, which I'll go into more later. This also causes an air reset. This leaves you in a perfect position for throws and meaties, but also has the benefit of being cancelable into V-trigger for incredible Nadeshiko mix-ups. Once you know your combos and confirms, these two resets will go a long way. Mika takes huge advantage of the juggle system in Street Fighter V by having some of the longest juggle combos in the game. This is because she has a ton of moves with juggle potential, many of which knock down, and she recovers quickly enough to add another juggle hit afterwards, especially with the help of her V-trigger Nadeshiko. First, let's talk a little bit about the juggle potential system in Street Fighter. All moves have a juggle potential. This number is how many hits of juggle this move can potentially allow after the first aerial knockdown or launcher. Most moves have juggle 0, so they can't. Juggle 1 means it can only be the first juggling hit. Juggle 3 means it can be the first, second, or third juggle hit. Mika has several moves with juggle potential 4, and EX Peach has potentials of 4, 5, and 6 through each of its 3 hits. And Nadeshiko has seemingly infinite juggle potential, definitely no less than 7. For your convenience, here are the juggle potentials for all of her moves, provided they don't change by release. Mika's V skill is her microphone rant. This could be a tricky move to use effectively, so here's a little bit of a breakdown and some pointers. First off, it has one hit of armor for most of the move. This is not instant, so it cannot be used for a pseudo parry like Zangief can, or like Ryu does. Also bear in mind that it is armor, so supers can get through it. Next, her microphone actually counts as a projectile, so it can be used to negate fireballs. With a lot of luck, you can actually use the armor to absorb one fireball, then throw the mic to stop a second fireball. One of the great things about the microphone is how positive it is on hit. You can actually combo out of it, most notably with forward heavy punch. With this, you can then combo into wingless airplane, giving you the damage from the microphone charge. Surprisingly, this is actually one of the best things you can do out of a dizzy for meterless damage, at least depending on the length of your combo beforehand. There are two basic times to apply her V skill. After any command grab, especially the punch one, as the opponent is thrown rather far away and knocked down, and you're not going to get any sort of follow-up. Or 2, if the opponent is full screen away and trying to zone. Most of the cast can't actually get to you in time to punish the microphone, and may even get themselves hit by the awkward projectile. But don't do this to Dhalsim. He can actually teleport behind you and get a full punish. So we know that Mika's charged hard kick can go over fireballs. In fact, it's actually projectile immune. It can go through Laura's fireball even as she's initially performing it. If she charges it and you're close enough, charge that roundhouse, get that damage. Forward hard punch, as of phase 3, now has less startup and less total active frames. We lost that ridiculous meaty on wake up, but gained new combos, like forward hard punch crush counter into a charged hard kick juggle. So that's me. On that note, for the birdie matchup, if he ever dares to try his little jumping grab, you can easily do a forward hard punch on reaction for a free crush counter. Mika is a character with a lot of stun, nasty resets, and great mobility. She still falls victim to some zoning, and like most of the cast, has to be very careful on wake up, as she has no reliable reversal, especially after the EX Peach armor nerf. She's not a super easy character to play, and she may have been one of the worst characters tier-wise in the Phase 3 beta. But soon, we'll have the full game. Who knows what other changes are in store.